Unlocking Locke, the birth of modern democracy. Put on your powdered wig and buckle shoes. We're picking Locke's philosophical locks to see how modern democracy got its master key. Number 5. Break glass in case of tyranny, the right to revolution. Locke hands the people a political fire extinguisher with a bold label. Use only when rulers torture rights. Government, he says, is a trust. Break that trust by aiming at absolute power or trampling life, liberty, or property, and the people may rightly dissolve it. This isn't a hot-headed hobby. Revolution is a last resort after repeated abuses, not a tantrum over taxes on tea alone. Crucially, judgment is collective. A people can recognize persistent rights violations even when the violator writes the laws. The Glorious Revolution was his case in point demo, not theoretical daydream. In short, accountability isn't optional hardware, it's the deadbolt on despotism. Number 4. From loose ends to legal bonds, the social contract. For Locke, political society isn't a mystical merger, it's a practical upgrade from justice to rule of law. Individuals trade the inconveniences of the state of nature for impartial judges, known laws, and enforcement that doesn't depend on your cousin's wrestling skills. By consenting to unite, they bind themselves to majority rule and authorize institutions to protect everyone's rights. The contract doesn't swallow freedoms wholesale. It delegates power for a limited aim, securing life, liberty, and property. Laws, then, are not commands from Olympus but tools the people commission. Think of it as moving from a group chat to a constitution, with fewer emojis and better conflict resolution. Number 3. We agree, therefore we rule, consent of the governed. Legitimate government, Locke insists, runs on the clean energy of consent, not divine right, not dynastic luck. Express consent, oaths, office holding, is obvious. Tacit consent is subtler, like enjoying the roads and protection while staying put. Representation translates this consent into practice, elections, accountability, and the power to swap out bad stewards without swapping out the entire system. Consent is not a one-time handshake at the founding. It must be maintained through just laws and responsive institutions. No taxation without representation would later distill the point. Power needs a permission slip. When authority forgets its permission, legitimacy quietly expires. Number 2. Life, liberty, and property. Locke's big 3 rights are not gifts from government. They're preloaded into the human condition. Property sprouts when you mix your labor with the world, farm a field, build a boat, write a book, and it's yours, provided you leave enough and is good for others. These rights fence in political power. Governments are formed to guard them, not to graze on them. Liberty is not license, it's freedom under known law that keeps everyone's rights intact. Security is the payoff of this arrangement, stable expectations instead of arbitrary whims. In modern terms, rights are the operating system, government is just the app. Number 1. A garden, not a jungle, Locke's state of nature. Contrary to Hobbes's horror movie, Locke's state of nature is more neighborly cul-de-sac than non-stop knife fight. People are free and equal, guided by reasons, do no harm, law, and capable of cooperation and exchange. Still, it's glitchy. Without common judges and clear procedures, bias warps justice, and feuds can spiral. These inconveniences don't make humans monsters, they make institutions necessary. So we build a polity to fix adjudication, not to create morality from scratch. The garden grows better with fences, but it was never a jungle to begin with. Locke didn't just pick the lock of absolutism, he rewired the door. Rights first, consent always, contracts for clarity, and a break glass plan when power forgets who it serves.